Have you ever set a goal and not achieved it? I'm going to raise both hands because I, in years past, and still sometimes to this day, set goals and don't achieve them. And it's for lots of different reasons. It could be because it's not the right goal. James Clear in Atomic Habits talks about the fact that it's often because we don't have the right systems in place in order to achieve our goals. I came across an article, though, by Dr. Benjamin Hardy that I want to share with you today, some of the points that he goes through in this article on Medium about why we aren't necessarily achieving our goals. I'm Angela W. Stillwell. I am CEO and founder of Untapped Strengths, and I work with individuals just like you to transform into top 1% leaders, and I work with teams to transform them into powerhouses. All right, so let's dive into this article by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. If you don't know who he is, he's done phenomenal research in how we 10x our lives, how we improve ourselves so that we get to that next level. He's done a lot of work with Dan Sullivan of Strategic Coach, and they've written several books together. Dr. Benjamin Hardy has written several books on his own, and I highly recommend every single one of them. But in the article where he was talking about perhaps you've set goals and haven't achieved them, there were several points that he made, and I want to dive into those today. The first one is embracing the truth. And when he's talking about embracing the truth, he's talking about taking full ownership. Really get honest with yourself. Maybe your finances aren't where they need to be. Maybe your health isn't where it needs to be. And what he's saying in embracing the truth is that you get to get super, super clear and honest with yourself. Like, look yourself in the mirror, in the eye, and say, here's the truth. Here's the hard truth, and own it, right? So that's the first one, embracing the truth. The second is being strategically ignorant. Now, with this, what he's talking about is, there are lots of people who relish the fact that they read everything, they watch everything, they watch the news, they listen to the news, they're doing this, that, and the other. He's talking about being strategically ignorant. Choose what you let into your mind, because what you let into your mind makes a huge difference. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But be strategically ignorant. There are lots of things that are outside your control that, whether you know about them or not, does not impact whether you achieve your goal or not. So what do you get to be strategically ignorant about? The third one is create forcing functions. I'll give you a great example. I used to run marathons, and every time I would sign up for a marathon, guess what it made me do? It made me set up that training schedule, right? Oftentimes there are, people when they have a big event coming up, a wedding or something else, they are working to get their bodies back in shape, right? People set New Year's resolutions to get rid of the pounds they gained during the holidays. We won't get into all of that and what my thoughts are on that, but just know that creating forcing functions are things that you can do to help you continue to level up. The fourth is learn quickly. And what this is talking about is consuming less is better than consuming all of the things. So learn quickly, get into something, try it, and then pivot as necessary. Do iterations over and over and over. Learn quickly, implement quickly. Raise the stakes. So, if you are wanting to start your own business, maybe you are wanting to, and I keep leaning like this because the sun is shining right in my eyes right here today. Different times of the year, the light coming through that window hits me in different places. So I keep moving over this way. I hope if I go that way. No, that goes too far out of the camera. Real life, you guys, real life. All right. So where was I? Raising the stakes. So high consequences for decisions that you make. So think about extreme athletes. These people who do incredible jumps and flips and things on motorcycles and skis and all of that. Listen, there are high stakes for the decisions that they're making, right? They raise the stakes over and over and over again. And you'll see some people who will quit a good job to start their business. They're raising the stakes. People, once they have a family, the stakes are raised, right? Because now you've got to perform for more than just yourself. And then the next one that he talks about is sharing your goals frequently. And I've heard don't share your goals. I've heard share your goals. And there's reasons for both, right? The not sharing your goals lends itself to what happens inside your brain when you're doing visualization, for instance, or when you talk about something enough, then your brain it doesn't know the difference in the imagination versus reality. That's why scary dreams are so scary. Your brain doesn't know that it's just a dream. And when people do visioning exercises, there have been tons of studies where visioning exercises have done things like improved piano playing skills or guitar playing skills. They've even done visioning exercises and have proven to build muscle, like fast twitch muscle. So your brain, when you are sharing your goals, you need to understand something. Your brain doesn't understand that it's not yet done. And people often get scared of what they want. They get scared of what might be the flack that they get for sharing the goals. They get scared to say it out loud. I can't tell you how many people are afraid of speaking what it is that they really and truly want. What do you want in relationships? What do you want from a health perspective? What do you want from a wealth perspective? Learn to say what you want. Ask and ye shall receive. Knock and the door will be opened. Seek and you will find. There's a reason. It's biblical. State it. State it. State your goals often. And then control your environment. Listen, this one is super important. Control your environment is talking about, and I mentioned this earlier, what are the things being input? There's a quote by Zig Ziglar that says, your input determines your outlook. Your outlook determines your output. Your output determines your future. Did you get that? Input, outlook, output, future. So you get to control your environment. You get to control, I can't control the sunshine right now coming in the side of my head, but I can control where I stand and whether it is right in my eyes or not, right? I can control what my office is like. I can control what my home is like. There are things that go wrong in my home, things break, and then I get to control having them repaired, right? By picking up the phone and calling someone. I get to control what my car is like. I get to control the people in my life. I don't get to control a lot of things though. Right? I mean, there are a lot of things that I get to control, and then there are an awful lot of things I don't control. I don't control anything that anyone else does. I can call that repair person. I can't control when they get here. Does that make sense? So controlling your environment is the other thing. It's controlling who are the people that you're surrounding yourself with. The other thing that Zig Ziglar talked about was you are the equivalent of the 5 people that you surround yourself with or that you spend the most time with. So controlling your environment means you get to decide who are the people and places and things that are going to be around you regularly. You get to build that community that helps support the goals that you're going after. And that community aspect is something that you've heard me talking about over and over and over again. If you've ever been on a live with me, you've heard me talk about build your community and invest in building your community. And that's exactly why I have built the leaderboard. It is a community where high performers, high achievers are able to come together. I'm just in the launching stage of this. So I have an offer for founding members to come in. It's a phenomenal offer. If it's something that you're interested in, where we're going to dig into, all of these aspects of goal setting, goal achieving, and so much more in your wealth, your health, your relationships, personally and professionally. And when you have a group of people of like minds, not necessarily everybody thinking the exact thing, but high achievers, high performers, people who are willing to dive in, people who are willing to, go after those high stakes, right? Set the stakes higher so that achievements can improve, so that our lives can improve, so that we can begin living the legacy that we ultimately want to leave behind. We can start living that legacy right now. And you do that by being part of a community that supports that. That's a lifestyle. And that's what the leaderboard is all about. So just put leader in the comments or send me a DM on whichever platform you're watching this. And just say leader in the DM, or again, leader in the comments. And let me know also what you think about today. But listen, this founding member option, there are bonuses and pricing that is out of this world. So make sure that that you follow up on that. If even just by saying leader doesn't mean that you're committed to anything. Listen, it's going to be right for some of you. It's not going to be right for everybody. If you think you might be someone that it might be right for, then put leader below and we'll be sure and get you the information. All right. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will see you next time on the weekly live show.